Busted appliances, smashed cell phones, broken laptops, 50 million tons of it every single year. E-waste is the dirty secret of the tech industry that no one wants to talk about. The definition of e-waste can be as loose as the regulations for recycling it. But generally speaking, if you're tossing it out and can plug it in, or it contains a circuit board, it's probably e-waste. And we're on track to produce over 120 million tons of it annually by 2050. That's more than 2,300 fully loaded Titanics. Gone are the days of your grandparents owning the same TV for 30 years. The short life cycles of today's electronics are partially to blame for the startling amount of e-waste we produce every year. The only piece of technology that's not considered e-waste is, of course, a Nokia 3310. But all joking aside, e-waste is becoming a serious environmental issue. As you can imagine, the recycling of e-waste isn't as straightforward as some tech companies would lead you to believe. The first and biggest challenge is that we're producing tech trash faster than we're able to recycle it. On the policy level, there's also a lack of standardized procedures from country to country and even region to region to deal with e-waste. In terms of the actual recycling of these items, they commonly contain materials that are hazardous to human health, like mercury, lead, and cadmium, that need to be disposed of properly. Unlike straightforward recyclables like paper or plastic, e-waste needs to first be broken down into individual parts and dealt with safely. And that ain't cheap. With only 17% of e-waste being recycled properly, what happens to the other 83%? Sadly, a large majority of people will simply throw these items in the regular trash. The toxic chemicals they contain are then free to leach into the soil and poison whatever's nearby. Cool, so now that you're feeling nice and guilty about those double A's you tossed in the garbage last week, I'm here to tell you how you can responsibly dispose of your e-waste. The 3 R's are in full effect when it comes to e-waste. Reduce, reuse, and recycle are the names of the games. The first line of defense is changing your own relationship with electronics by reducing your consumption. Don't buy the latest cell phone or tablet every year, and instead opt to use your devices as long as you can. If you do need a new device, consider getting a refurbished one instead of buying new. And if your device breaks, repair it instead of replacing it. If you do get an upgrade while your old device is still in good working order, consider donating or gifting it to a person or organization who can reuse it. This reduces the amount of e-waste that ends up in the trash. There are also nonprofit organizations like Renewed Computer Technology here in Canada that refurbish old electronics for charitable programs that need them. If a device is broken beyond repair, they'll keep the parts in case they could be used for any future restorations. Okay, so what if your device is just not salvageable? Now we're deep into the R's with recycle. Your first option is to take your e-waste to a designated recycling facility. Some big box stores like Best Buy, Rexall, Staples, and Home Depot even act as drop-off points for recycling e-waste. Check your local stores for programs in your area. From there, your old devices will be safely recycled. Although they might differ slightly, the processes of responsibly recycling e-waste are pretty much the same across the board. Like so many Hogwarts first years, recycling begins with sorting. From there, the e-waste is dismantled, and parts like batteries and light bulbs are removed to be recycled separately. The next step is shredding the e-waste down into small pieces, since these are easier to mechanically sort. Metals like iron and steel are pulled out by magnets. Metals that aren't magnetic are sorted using electric currents. The rest, which is usually just plastic and glass, at this point is sorted with water. Even though recycling is the end goal for dead electronics, there is a dark side to the e-waste recycling industry. High-income countries ship their e-waste overseas to South Asia and Africa, where regulations are less stringent about safe e-waste disposal. Materials might be burned in the open air or treated in acid baths. Harmful chemicals also may not be safely handled and can pollute the environment and poison the people who work in these facilities and the locals nearby. So e-waste isn't just an environmental issue, it's a humanitarian one too. Despite being literal garbage, e-waste is actually outrageously valuable. The UN estimates that this bonkers amount of trash is worth $62.5 billion. One reason is that electronics often contain precious metals like gold, copper, silver, and platinum. Recycling circuit boards, for example, can actually be even more valuable than mining for ore. There is 30 to 40 times more copper and 40 to 800 times more gold in a ton of circuit boards than can be extracted from a ton of ore. It's also 13 times cheaper than mining. While big changes need to happen to responsibly keep up with the pace of e-waste, the good news is that you can take steps yourself to reduce your environmental impact. So, next time you drop your phone in the toilet, go ahead and fish out that old Nokia out of the back of your drawer. It's ready for its renaissance. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe for even more tech effect, and don't forget to let me know in the comments what you'd like to hear about next time. I'm Tasha, and I'll see you online. That's more than 2,300 fully loaded Titanics. Ah! Let's rewind and do it again. Gone are the days of your grandparents owning the same TV for 30 years. The short life cycles of today's electronics are partially to blame for the God damn it! This will work, I promise you. The first and biggest challenge is that we're producing tech trash faster than we're able to recycling it. Close one, no cigar. Faster than we're able to recycling.
Boom, back to back, good taste.
E-waste needs to first be broken down into individual parts. Individual parts and dealt safely. And we're doing it again. If you do get an upgrade when your old device is still in good working order, consider donating or gifting it to a person or organization who can reuse it. Here in Canada, that refurbish and Ready? Here we go. Not messing up. Here we go. High-income countries ship their e-waste overseas to Asia. One reason that electronics often contain, and parts like batteries and light bulbs are removed to be recycled separately. Smash all of your used electronics before submitting them. That was in there.
I was gonna say.
You're like, did I write that? I'm Tasha, and I'll see you some other time.